the two most important factors that shift the aggregate supply that we're going to be talking about here are productivity growth and the change in input prices. Some of you will be like, wait, change in input prices, that was one of the things that we had to keep constant, right? That was our ceteris paribus assumption. Exactly right. That's why it will shift the aggregate supply curve. A movement along the aggregate supply curve depends on that ceteris paribus assumption. That's actually one of the things that's defining why it's a direct or upward sloping relationship. And so it stands to reason that that is a factor that would shift the aggregate supply curve onto a completely new schedule or completely new track. Now, it's important for us to keep in mind that the aggregate supply curve can also shift due to unexpected shocks to input goods or labor. So, for instance, large weather events that affect crops or, affect snowfall or affect outdoor recreation, that kind of stuff, right? Or an overseas war that requires lots of people to fight instead of work. Or not even an overseas war, right? We can look to Ukraine. A domestic war can significantly shift your aggregate supply curve inwards in a negative fashion, right? One of the things to get in our just our notes to define, we'll talk about it probably more in greater detail in class on Wednesday at this point, but that is the notion or the definition of stagflation. So stagflation is the situation where an economy is experiencing both stagnant growth or tepid growth, depending on, what adjective you want to use, and high, stubborn, persistent inflation, right, at the same time. So let's go ahead and do an example of an expansion from an increase in productivity.